When you get better results for your clients, you get better retention with your clients, which means more lifetime value or more money per client. You get more referrals from your clients, which means your business grows and makes more money without having to do more marketing. And it also means that you can charge more premium prices because you get incredible results for the people that you work with. So it goes without saying, it is in your best interest to get the best results you can for your clients. And in this video, I'm going to show you 5 interesting ways that you can do exactly that. Now, I know this stuff works because I've been implementing these strategies with my clients and they get results just like this. My client Mark, who's made an extra £13,000 in just 8 weeks and said that this mentorship is far and away the best for me. Then Ben, who made an extra 26k in just 10 weeks. Or Lewis, who made an extra £16,000 in just 7 weeks. Or even Kat, who is leaving her full-time job as a teacher to go fully online as an online coach. And she said that she's never been so excited about her business since starting this program. So without further ado, let's jump into the presentation and I'm going to show you how you can get incredible results with your one-to-one coaching or consulting clients. And we're going to kick this off with telling them how you want them to show up in your onboarding process. Now, this one seems a little bit obscure. It maybe seems a little bit pointless, but I promise you that when you implement this, it completely changes the type of client that you work with. Now, the way that I do this in my onboarding process, so you can see a screenshot here of the very first lesson that my clients go through when they attend the program. I basically show them the difference between clients who achieve things and clients who don't achieve things. And this isn't about me relinquishing responsibility for their results, but it's about showing them that they have the ability to get the best results imaginable if they show up in a particular way. Now, there's something about physically airing this with a new client and actually showing them, hey, look, the ball is in your court here. You can either kind of passively go through this program and say, it works for others, but it might not work for me, which will ultimately mean that they don't get a result. Or you can be the type of person who says, I don't care how good or how bad this program is, I'm going to take something from it and I'm going to make a success of this no matter what. And by showing your clients that and by giving them an insight into them actually having some autonomy and some power in the results that they get, they usually show up as a better client because of it. So this has been awesome for me, is just having this really simple lesson in my onboarding process that really just tells them how I want them to show up. This has been a game changer. So the second thing that you can do is find the perfect whelm. Now, you can quite easily overwhelm your clients when they join you. I'm going to go through some do's and don'ts in just a moment, but you can equally underwhelm your clients, and both of them have detrimental impacts on the way that the client shows up throughout your coaching program. So here's some things that you do and don't want to do, right? They don't need a 50-page startup handbook. It's overwhelming. It's too much information. Nobody likes reading loads and loads of pages before they can get stuck into your process. They don't need 10 emails sent over 10 days explaining how everything works. And they certainly do not need a 1-hour onboarding meeting the second that they join you. What your clients do need is quick, snappy explanation videos that explain everything in detail. They need a clear roadmap that details the client journey and the next steps. And they maybe need a short 15 to 30-minute meeting, call, Zoom, whatever, that basically makes sure that everything's clear for them and answers any questions that they've got. So I call this the perfect whelm. The first impressions that you make in your client journey is so vitally important to set the tone for the rest of the coaching experience. If you overwhelm them at the start, they will disengage from the process. And equally, if you underwhelm them, they'll feel like they've made a bad decision and they will view you in a different light. So you have to get this balancing act right. And for me, I feel like I've got the perfect whelm in Remote Pro right now. And all of my clients get everything they need and nothing that they don't. So coming on to point number 3, gratitude keeps your clients in the game for longer. Okay. Here's what I want you to think about. What your clients are trying to achieve probably takes a lot of time and effort. If you can make them practice gratitude on a weekly basis and help them to celebrate the smaller wins along the way to their overarching big goal, you keep them in the game for longer. You keep them showing up for longer. A lot of what we teach our clients and a lot of the results that we deliver for our clients rely on consistency and relies on time and effort. So having these little processes in your client journey where you let them demonstrate their gratitude on a weekly basis, you condone them showcasing gratitude, maybe in a group environment. I'm going to show you how I do it in just a moment. You keep your clients engaged and you take them away from just thinking about the end result, and you help them to celebrate the small wins along the way. So I have them fill in this form every single week. You can see some examples here, but they just celebrate the small wins every single week. And this helps them to show up irrespective of how far away they are from their end goal. So get your clients to practice gratitude. Point number 4, gamification. When you gamify your process, get my words out there, you make your process more enjoyable, and that equates to better completion rates. So the way that I do this in Remote Pro is I use a belt tiered system. Okay, so all of my clients are working towards their black belt in business, which is not showing up very well here, but basically a black belt in business for me is $20,000 or more per month. Okay, when you hit that landmark in business, you're a black belt in business. So what we do is along the way is we celebrate the progress up to that point. So if you don't know, these are jiu-jitsu belts. I'm an absolute jiu-jitsu nerd. That's where I got the idea from. And you start out in jiu-jitsu as a white belt, everybody does. And then after maybe a year or 2 years of training, learning technique, developing your skills, you get promoted to blue belt, and then you get your purple belt, then your brown belt. And then eventually after maybe 10 or 12 years of training, you learn the coveted black belt in jiu-jitsu. So what I'm doing for my clients is I'm gamifying their progress through their business and their entrepreneurial journey by rewarding them these different belt levels as they hit landmark revenue numbers in their business. So this is just like a dangling carrot for my clients to strive towards something. And I'm going to give them an amazing award when they hit black belt in their business, and that will come through in the post. And it just makes the process much more enjoyable. Okay, so think about how you can gamify your coaching program. So look, here's an example of Mark saying, I'm loving the process so far. Really love the idea of building something great. Nate, who said, look, I've been through 6 mentorships now. This is leaps and bounds ahead of the game. And then we have James as well, who said, the program that you've created leaps above other mentorship programs. You've created a whole new system that shifts the new era of mentorship, #Remote Pro, which I absolutely love. So gamifying your process it's difficult to do. It takes a lot of thought and effort as to how you're going to do that. But when you get this part right, it makes your whole coaching program so much more enjoyable for your clients, and then they ultimately get better results. So let's go on to the final point. Point number 5 for you to get better results for your one-to-one coaching or consulting clients is just be better. Educate your clients. This takes a lot of discipline because ultimately you need to invest time, effort, energy, and money into your own self-development, your own skills, your own knowledge that you can pass on to your clients. So for me, I'm a business coach. I have to constantly be studying what's working in marketing, what's working in sales, what's working in systems, in delivery, in AI, all of these things that are happening and changing at lightning speed. I have to be on top of so that I can relay the information to my clients so that they can get the best results imaginable. And you have to do the same for your clients in your niche. Like if you are a nutritionist who helps clients with weight loss, as an example, you need to stay on top of the science, the literature as it relates to calories, macros, whatever, right? Whatever your bag is, you need to be on top of those things and educate your clients. You need to actually educate them. A big mistake that a lot of coaches make is they don't put emphasis on the importance of their educational content. The biggest mistake they make is they don't educate their clients. Okay. If you are a one-to-one coach and your service currently consists of, one-to-one calls or one-to-one access with you, maybe a weekly check-in and feedback process, but you don't have an educational element to your coaching program, you are missing 50 or 60% of what is going to get your clients results. Think about this right now. Whatever niche that you operate in, let's just say that you're a fitness coach. The reason that you are in shape, the reason that you are fit and healthy is, yes, because you spent time under tension and doing the reps, but it's also because you have the knowledge and the experience to stay in shape, to show up. You know how to train effectively. You know how to diet appropriately. You know what habits and routines you need to instill to maintain those results. So it is the knowledge, it's the education that you've consumed that helps you to achieve and sustain your results. The same is going to be true for your clients. You need to educate them. Okay. It's not just telling them what to do and then sending them on their merry way. You need to actually empower them to understand this stuff for themselves so that they can keep their results for a lifetime. So if coaches do have an educational element to their program, then what they'll often do is not put enough emphasis on its importance. And then what that basically means is the client just kind of disregards it. You know, it's like, okay, we're going to do one-to-one check-ins. You're going to get a bespoke program. I'm going to do all of this tailored stuff for you. Oh, and by the way, I've got some videos in this portal that you can go and watch if you want. Okay, you're not putting enough emphasis on the importance of going through the educational material, which means that they don't do it. Okay. Another massive mistake that coaches make if they have educational content is they make their learning portal just filled with like 1 hour plus recorded Zoom calls with their clients, and they're not engaging. They are not enjoyable to watch. And it means that your clients don't end up learning anything because nobody wants to sit through a pre-recorded hour-long plus Zoom meeting. Okay. It is people's idea of a nightmare. So take the time, build the trainings, record them in an engaging way, make them short and snappy so that people can actually consume your educational content. And then finally, there is no logical sequence of learning and it creates overwhelm. So if I just said to you, right, I've got 100 lessons in here that are going to give you all of the tools and all of the knowledge that you need to get in shape and stay in shape forever, crack on. It's too much. It's far too much. There's no logical sequence of learning. You've got access to everything all at once, which makes it there's just far too much going on for people for them to sit down and actually chunk it down and work through the material. So I use a drip fed approach. You can only see what's coming up. It chunks it down. It makes it digestible. It removes overwhelm. And it ultimately means that clients actually go through and watch your learning material and get better results because of that. And they also then position you as an expert, which means that they stay on board with you for longer. They come back as repeat customers. You have this amazing self-fulfilling prophecy by educating your clients. So that's it, guys. There are 5 ways that you can get better results with your one-to-one coaching or consulting clients. Implement these. And if you've enjoyed this video, I'll leave some more up here that you can catch up on. And I will see you on the next video. Peace and love.